Hi, I am Debbie, and I'll be taking you on an adventure through the Australian business world with an exploration on how business is conducted interviewing a successful businessman. I would like to introduce you to my good friend Harry.
I do.
Harry has actually worked in many different countries, one of them being Australia. Welcome, Harry, and thank you for coming today.
Thank you, Debbie. I appreciate it.
My teammates and I appreciate you being here. Can you tell me how you felt when you first arrived in Australia?
Well, when we first arrived there, we came on a 747, which was very luxurious. Got to the airport, and that was like any other type airport you would see. But then when you get outside the airport and you start to go, you find out the real cultural change, and that is everybody's driving on the wrong side of the road. They're driving on the left side of the road instead of on the right.
What was your major concern?
Well, not being used to driving on the left side of the road, of course you have those fears of accidents, those kinds of things. So you really have to just kind of hold back on your own feelings and just let the driver do the driving.
Can you tell me how you prepare yourself when you know you're going to be in a different country to work?
Yes. Our traveling group that we have provides quite a bit of information for us. We can go online and we can look at what the country is. They also provide pamphlets for us to read, so we'll know what the time of year that we're going, so we know what the weather is. We can know what the type of money that they use for conversion, and then we also learn about the different types of clothing you might want to take with you at that time, and a few other things of cuisine and maybe just wording and some adjectives of the way people might respond to in that country.
The Australian people are, by my understanding, very relaxed culture. Did you have any issues adapting to this relaxed culture?
No, I didn't really. It was very open. They were very friendly, and of course one of the things is that they try to give you food and drinks all the time. You know, that's just one of their ways of greeting to help you feel more comfortable where you're at. So that openness is very good. It does make you relaxed.
Do you have any pointers for anyone going over there?
Well, if you go, of course, first I'd want you to read the pamphlets so you understand the country and the atmosphere that you're going into, so you be prepared for clothing and such. But then the other thing is just to be very open and to be able to listen very well, pay attention to what people are saying, because accents sometimes can be very difficult to understand the wording that people are speaking. So you'd want to be able to listen well so you can understand what they're saying.
What kind of adjustment do you have to make to your environment when working in Australia?
Well, one of the first things that we came across is that when we were in the plant, I was getting ready to set up my computer, and it was all of a sudden they came over and said, whoa, stop. Did you have your computer electronically checked and all that? And I went, well, I don't know what you mean by that, but no, I don't think so. So they took my computer, my electronic stuff, and so I lost it for about a half a day. Well, they sent it off to the electronic lab to check all the electronics in it, and then they put a yellow tag on it to say that the equipment's been checked, that it meets electrical standards for their company, and that I could take it anywhere in the company then and plug it in to any of their wall sockets or anything like that.
Is their power different than ours?
Yes, their power is different. Most of their power is 210. And you usually have to have a converter, of which I do have a converter, to plug into. But they have converted a lot of their systems over, especially within the factory, I should say, to a 110. But the cycling rate isn't exactly 60 cycle, it's more on a 120 cycle. So when you plug into it, your equipment may not react exactly the way it would in the United States.
Can you describe some similarities and differences you found in the workplace between men and women?
Well, they do have men and women both working there, and they do have women that are in leadership positions. I did ask the question while I was there if the ladies get paid the same as what the men get paid. And I found out that they're very much like we are. They don't get paid equally the same. And I thought that was kind of amazing because they've been in this sort of the same culture changes as we have been for a long time. So one of the other things I found is that they're very attentive and they're very punctual also on being on time for meetings and the such. And that is one thing that you'd really have to guard against, to be there on time.
What was your personal interaction with the Australian people like?
Well, I found it to be very open and very friendly. Some of the places that we went when we were going around the town at night to find places to eat and things like that, if people looked at you like you were lost, they would be very friendly to come up and ask if they could give you some help or help you find something.
What was your favorite slang term of the Australian culture?
Well, the best one is the most common, I guess, is the one that they use as "G'day, mate," and that is a term that is really, it's just a greeting, just like saying hello or goodbye. They use it for both cases, and it has no other meaning. I thought it might, when they first said, "G'day, mate," that they were talking to me as a male, but I found out later that that wasn't the case, that it just meant hello.
And have you adapted any of the other culture habits into your lifestyle?
No, not really. I have not adopted any of those.
What type of Australian cuisine did you find the most of?
Lamb or mutton was their primary, and of course that is one of their high exports. And that is also one of my favorite dinners. I love lamb. So I had that. Potato salad was another one that they had. Their potato salad is a lot more creamier. It's more like mashed potatoes than it is like ours, because ours is chunky and lumpy and stuff. But they also have the same ingredients. So they have eggs and mustard and chives and stuff like that. Onion, they'll add to it. The only difference being is that they have a dried mustard that they use for their potato salad, where we use more of a liquid mustard.
Harry, we all know that all work and no play makes for a dull day, so what did you do for entertainment?
Well, for entertainment, we enjoyed eating out a lot. That was one of the really big things, doing that, and then touring around the country as much as possible, going and seeing the sites. With the labor unions that they have, they don't work on weekends, so it left us plenty of time to go out and see their culture and interact with the people, and that was great.
And what were their work days like?
The work days, they have a standard 8-hour day, but they usually work until they get the work done. And the thing that they have to do there is, if they're going past their 8-hour day, they have to get permission from their union to do it.
Well, thank you, Harry. You've given us a rare opportunity and an insight in the business and socialization aspect into Australia.
Well, thank you, Debbie, for having me.